seek clarification from you, if approved, because you're going to be the person on the seat. There is mining happening at the border of Kenya and Uganda at a place called Amoni in Alupe. The mining is right at the border, and yesterday the CS confirmed that Samata they took up, they visited, and they confirmed and that they have stopped. They're engaging with the neighboring country. What are you going to do about it? And I'm very happy I've heard you saying you will give priority to issues, you will start working, you will not be in the office. And one Kenyan has asked the same question and also has asked about Migingo, but you've already addressed the Migingo. Just tell me about the money. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker.
Chairman, a rejoinder on the same. Just that, a rejoinder. Mr. Nominee, there's a whole issue in this country about speculation. You know, people assuming this county has this county has that, this region has that. I would like to know whether you would ensure there is a transparent Kenya mineral audit that will allow Kenyans to know what minerals are where and who has mining rights. Because this, especially where I come from the north, the cattle rustling has changed. It's not about cows. It's about land. And there are Kenyans who feel that West Pokot has a certain mineral, Samburu North, Baragoi has a certain mineral, and that is why there is perpetual conflict in those regions, and there are people arming Kenyans in those regions so that there is no peace, so that later in future people will move from that land, and then people are going to come and get the minerals out. It's just like oil. In countries where there's oil, there's conflict, perpetual conflict. And so that's, you know, not having a clarity on where we have minerals in this country breeds that speculation and brings conflict. Asante.
Jeanette, I saw you gesturing like you wanted to have...
I wanted to ask him something, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to ask the nominee, you see why we are here today, Mr. Speaker, vetting the second batch of ministers in the halfway, midway of a term of an election. Mr. Speaker, is because of things that Kenyans have complained about. And some of the things Kenyans have complained about is about opulency, arrogancy, and show off. The nominee is somebody known to me very well, Mr. Speaker. I must share with the committee that. And he's somebody whose God has blessed him as a family and as a person. He's a man who loves fine things of the world. Now you are becoming a CS. What are you going to do?
God's blessings are not limited to people who love fine things of the world.
Yes, but for him, that's how he has enjoyed it.
Yes.
That's what he has enjoyed. So now you are going to become a public servant at very high level. How are you going to define that line of your private life and your public life? Because Kenyans don't want any opulence at the level of the job that you are being interviewed for here.
Thank you, Mr. May I?
Kenyans are not against opulence, they are against show-offs.
Show-offs, yes.
Yes, show-offs. Yes. Yes, George.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mining research is not quite prominent in the country, but I'm now informed that some universities have actually started offering courses in mining, and they're doing lots and lots of research. My own university, Tharaka, is doing it. Confirm that if this committee, if the House approves you and confirms you, you will actually collaborate with the various universities in the country so that we have better research and better studies, including absorbing those who are studying mining, so that we have local experts. We don't have these foreigners coming from all over pretending to be the experts and cutting away our minerals.
Running out of time, but Kosing?
Mr. Speaker, just one thing, Mr. Speaker, I forgot. Also about fishermen who are being arrested in Lake Victoria, going to Uganda, by Ugandan government. What are you going to do about it? They are suffering. Last time, he has answered.
He answered that. Posing?
I can bring mine later.
Pardon? He will not come back.
No, not.
Oh, pardon?
It's not for him.
Okay, it's not for him.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Honorable Speaker.
Nominee, can I beseech members we stop here? Yes. We have 4 others waiting. If it's burning, Rahab, I'll give you. If you're asking about your question, it was answered when you are out.
It's not about my question. I was just asking about the gender imbalancing in the fishing industry. What he'll do so that women can be involved.
He said that thousands of women handling fish when it lands on the beaches. I thought? Yes. Pardon? But
Okay.
take the question and answer the honorable member about gender parity in the industry.
Okay. So, Mr. Speaker, the first issue was by Honorable Mesa on some mining that around the border area that is contested. What I want to tell you is that I've also heard about the same issue, for example, in Moyale County. And I am going to work with members of parliament, governors, very closely to ensure what rightfully belongs to Kenya stays in Kenya. And that opportunity is secured for and on behalf of the people of Kenya. So we'll work very well together. That assurance government is about continuity, and what Mvurya committed, I will take on and move forward with you.
Answer the remaining questions in 2 minutes.
Mr. Speaker.
From Naisula and Junet.
If you could allow me, maybe just from what Junet said, on your declaration of net worth, I see you have valuables and jewelry of a good amount. Maybe you could tell us, amongst those in relation to what Junet was asking about opulence, the show of opulence, as the speaker put it. And I know you've been very active on TikTok. Can you assure the people of Kenya that these valuables and jewelry here will not be part of the things that they will see on TikTok? Because I think that is what annoys Kenyans when they see. And because you are coming into public office, just to be sensitive that Kenyans, as much as you have declared it here, may not want to see those things.
Mr. Speaker, I think what my brother Kimani Ichung'wah is trying to say is referring to what they will see. I'm actually focused on what they've already seen, because it's been there. But what I want to assure this honorable committee, I appreciate certain factors of life. And you must have a balance. You must have a balance. When you're serving the people, you must, first of all, make them feel comfortable. You must make them feel you're one of them. So opulence for me, no. When I am working, I am working. When I'm enjoying myself in my own setup at home, that's fine. That's another story. But when I'm going to the Kenyan people, my dedication is to work for them. And my experience, Mr. Speaker, tells it. I have, thank God, been elected 3 times. 3 times. And I thank God also, for example, you asked of the valuables, jewelries. Largely, I'm talking about watches. And I've been wearing even before I became member of parliament, long before. But I know how to balance. I don't have to wear it so I can show off. For what? What value will it give to anybody? So I enjoy wearing it. Even this morning I was debating, should I wear a watch? Shall I not? Really, and it was a big debate there at home. I said, nitaficha tu kwa hii. I don't have to show it off. I'm sure it is only now you are realizing I was wearing a watch. So, show off for me there's no way I'm going to show off, Mr. Speaker. That I can assure you. Mr. Mheshimiwa Naisula. Sorry, Mr. Speaker. On the question of Mheshimiwa Naisula, on matters speculation, that must be addressed, and urgently, because it denies Kenya an opportunity.
You largely touched on it.
Yes, but I want to talk about one important thing, and I see a great opportunity. I think Mheshimiwa Waigara, you asked on Murigara. Sorry.
Murugara.
Murigara. George, Sir George, on your question on training for mining, how do we achieve, for example, how do we attain 10% contribution GDP? We must do what other countries did, train our people. There's also an opportunity. If you went to some countries, you will see a mining bank, a bank that focuses only on mining. Yes. So for us to achieve all that, real work must be done. And I want to assure you, it begins with capacity building. We must train the people. So, Mr. Speaker, on Junet, it's again opulence and show off banner. I don't need to show off. What you have, you have. What you don't, you don't. And you should be cautious of others. You should be cautious of others.
We should end there. Showing off actually is a sign of inferiority complex.
But I wanted to end with the one comment on Junior. I heard him yesterday say something. I heard him say that being rich is not a crime. And also I heard him say, I don't know whether Kimani Ichung'wah shared his audited account. I heard him say Kimani Ichung'wah is worth 5 billion shillings. So, brother...
Kimani contested that he had understated
that's what I heard yesterday.
Yes.
I mean, I saw it on TV somewhere. So, I end here, Mr. Speaker. So, I had a formal, like a point plan, Mr. Speaker.
But, Speaker, you must tell the nominee, just like him, I don't show off.
In fact, nobody can tell that you are worth anything.
Mr. Speaker, and that must be the culture in Kikuyu constituency.
Nominee, we are coming to an end. Naisula has asked me to remind you to respond to the issue of your public statement never to talk to your appointing authority. Although I told you that
okay,
only fools don't change their mind, but in Naisula I would want the public to hear from you.
Sasa, Naisula, do you want to repeat the statement for me? Atuwezi ongea? How?
Let me say this.
No, I understand.
No, but let me say this for clarity, Chairman. You know, apart from asking questions during vetting for competence, what you understand about mining and all, we also vet the temperament of a nominee, the same way you've been asked about lifestyle. It's neither here or there, really. But even temperament of a nominee is very important because it shows your leadership skills. Initially you thought this, and now you're here. There's really nothing wrong with answering how you're going to relate with His Excellency the President when you're working.
Excellent.
So, Mr. Speaker, if I may quote, the statement went like, mimi nionge na Ruto nini? Mimi niende wapi na Ruto? Mr. Speaker, hakuna mtu ameeleza vizuri kukuliko. Mpumbavu peke yake ndo abadilishe mawazo. Mtu mpumbavu. Pili, hii ni clarion call to serve the country. I have been a great critic of this government, like others I did before. Now I've been given an opportunity. An opportunity has been availed to me to come and create that difference that I've been talking about all this time. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. Bring new energy, new ideology, new thinking, because after all of us are serving one nation, one people.
Well put. That will
do. Other members, now nominee, we are coming to an end. Most of the people, members of the public sending in questions, all oscillate around what will you do to create safety in the mines? What will you do to protect the population from disused mines? What will you do to protect our fishermen from harassment by neighbors? What will you do to make it safe for our fishermen to handle their produce or their products when they come back? And what will you do to make mining part of the central core of Kenya's economy? These are all things we have talked about, but the public would want to hear that we brought to you what they wanted. There is one man from Kwale who says, uliza waziri mteule kidogo ataweka mikakati gani kuhakikisha kituo cha mafunzo cha uchumi Zamawati kilichoko wadi ya Ngomeni, kaunti ya Kwale kinakamilika kwa muda unaofaa. I think the next, I'll still ask you or say one or two things. We want you to assure Kenyans, nominee, that if you find favor and you are appointed the minister, within what period will you be able to make Kenyans feel the benefits and the contribution of mining to our economy? We are a major agricultural country. So is a country like the US. But in the US, agriculture contributes only 1% to their GDP. In Kenya, it is the complete opposite. And they do that because they are in manufacturing, in mining, value addition, and all those good economic activities. Secondly, ensure that Kenyans participate in this exciting new economic venture. Assure Kenyans that you are not going to be, if approved, to be working for international conglomerates to come to Kenya, appear to be generating economic activities but taking away all our wealth. We want to see mining being part of the central feature of our economy. Thirdly and lastly, for the seafarers and those who are now going to work on international ships, you may consider, because most of those seafarers will work in ships of major shipping and maritime countries: Korea, China, Spain, and others. You may consider, and Germany you talked earlier, to introduce basic language courses at our college in Mombasa in these languages, so that when they graduate, they have a basic knowledge of German, of Korean, or Chinese, or Mandarin, or whatever. Thirdly and lastly, you may also consider sometimes if a seafarer goes to a Spanish shipping line and produces a certificate that's a collaboration between our college and some college in Spain, it gives confidence to those who are employing. So you may consider partnering our institution with as many other institutions worldwide as possible to ease the process of our youths getting certificates and being considered for employment. Finish those, then I come to...
Can I say one from a Kenyan speaker?
Oh, there is... okay,
one
yes.
From Kenyan.
Yes.
From West Pokot.
West Pokot.
Yes, he's saying, don't forget to tell Joho, this is a guy of late 30s, he's working and he's in school. He just finished Form 4 the other day and got a D+. So he's saying, don't forget to tell Joho your motivation to many of us, like me in West Pokot, to pursue my education studies.
Yes, before you answer, there is also somebody who said, I am really shocked that Governor Joho has 2 degrees. Kenyans know he has never been to school. This is some lady from somewhere. Now go on and answer.
Mr. Speaker, the only thing she didn't write is that I'm an alumni of Harvard University. And I'm grateful that we could inspire someone. And this is a message I want to tell the young people of this country. please never lose hope. Never give up. There is always a way out. It requires determination, focus, commitment.
Answer those now.
And a little bit of support. I'm just saying that because I felt encouraged that someone may take a path of changing his life. Mr. Speaker, I began by saying we need to relook at the architecture of our training programs. Do they conform to the needs? How do we tap in? How is it that we, first of all, are only tapping into just under 0.2% of the demand? So we would probably redesign the entire training program. And then, Mr. Speaker, I couldn't agree more. The urgent need of collaboration between teaching institutions.